News right now, we have a crew on the scene of a shooting.
So this is specifically happening on the city's northeast side. Patty Santos joins us from O'Connor Road near I-35. Patty, what have you learned so far?
Yeah, this is the corner of Warsbach Parkway and O'Connor. Take a look at the scene right behind me. This is the Circle K right in this intersection, and police are limited on the information that they have right now. But here's what they're telling us. Inside the store, a 37-year-old man was shot in the back several times. They tell us that the suspects are looking for possibly teenagers. There are two different scenes. There's this one here on this corner. There's another one a few blocks away. At this point, police are not telling us exactly who they're looking for or if they have those suspects identified or arrested, but we have seen them speaking with several witnesses here in the scene. Again, a 37-year-old man taken to BAMC Hospital with gunshot wounds to the back. We're going to stay here and bring you more as we get that. We'll send it back to you.
Another triple-digit day today. It marks our 62nd triple-digit day so far this year. And actually, some rain chances are back in the forecast very briefly. And it's not much, but it's a bit for tomorrow. I'll be back in a little bit with the future cast. Time it out for you, show you the window of opportunity. Also, the latest on Hurricane Idalia headed toward Florida tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now, because this right here is a live picture from Fort Myers, Florida, where we're already seeing the early stages of Idalia. The storm hasn't yet made landfall, as you just heard from Adam, but already there's some flooding. Now, people in Florida are preparing for the worst as Idalia gets even closer.
Yeah, tonight, mandatory evacuation orders have been put in place for dozens of coastal communities. ABC's Ike Ejachi gives us a closer look.
Hurricane Idalia inching closer to land. The storm, now a Category 2 hurricane with wind speeds in excess of 105 miles per hour, expected to hit Florida's Big Bend on Wednesday morning. The National Weather Service calling Idalia an unprecedented event, since no major hurricanes on record have ever passed through the region. Idalia's outer bands already causing havoc in the Sunshine State. Winds picking up speed, rough surf in the Keys, tornado warnings near Naples. But the biggest concern, life-threatening storm surge. Governor Ron DeSantis ordering evacuations for low-lying areas in 22 counties.
It's the strongest hurricane since I've lived here, 40 years. It's come to our area.
FEMA urging families to follow the evacuation orders and get out while there's still time.
If you are in a storm surge warning area, it could mean just traveling 10 or 20 miles to get out of the most significant impact areas. It does not mean having to travel hundreds of miles to get out of the storm's path.
Here in Tampa, the city's main hospital erecting an aqua fence around the building to keep the water out. Further north, the barrier island of Cedar Key, boarded up. Almost everyone is gone. Governor Ron DeSantis says the city could see up to 13 feet of storm surge. All this as state and federal emergency crews make preparations. Elite urban search and rescue teams are on the ground, along with power crews from as far away as Maine, anticipating major power outages. The Florida National Guard deploying 5,500 guardsmen to assist with storm prep and response, all while the DoD stands ready to assist. In Tampa, Ike Ejachi, ABC News.
So he just mentioned all the crews that are coming down to Florida from Maine. But meanwhile, Texas is also sending help for those feeling the wrath of the storm. Governor Greg Abbott today deploying Texas A&M Task Force 1 to Florida just ahead of Idalia's landfall. Also, CPS has crews in Florida on standby if or when power goes out. And Acadian Ambulance has also sent more than a dozen ambulances and paramedics to Florida.
The surveillance video and crime scene pictures, just some of the evidence shown on the first day of the murder trial of rapper Sasha Skare. Martel Deruin was shot through his apartment door in 2021. He was also a rapper. During the first day of the trial, video from a neighbor's Ring doorbell camera captured the moments that Skare was walking down a hallway with a gun in her hand. Another neighbor testified she saw Skare banging on Deruin's door. Skare faces up to life in prison if found guilty. We are live streaming this trial. You can watch tomorrow when it resumes on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, or the KSAT YouTube channel. A couple brutally attacked in their own home. And tonight, Hondo police say the couple's teenage son is the one to blame.
Now, there's still plenty of questions about what led to Sunday's attack and the boy's decision to then turn the gun on himself. The Night Team's Patty Santos explains why investigators aren't sure if they're ever going to get those answers.
This is where Hondo police say a 14-year-old attacked his parents around 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
At some point, the child comes downstairs, assaults the parents.
Investigators say a 58-year-old man who was stabbed in the stomach is still hospitalized. Meanwhile, his 51-year-old wife was treated for injuries to her face and back, but has since been released.
The child didn't say anything during the attack.
Police later found the 14-year-old dead from a self-inflicted gunshot.
The child was described as a good student, a good kid.
Investigators say they are at a loss for a motive with no evidence of narcotics, no social media clues, no previous calls to the home, or any indication that something was wrong.
So there was no red flags, there was no indicators, there was no suicide outcries, there was no prescriptions for any type of psychotropic medications.
It's also taking an emotional toll on the community. Hondo ISD offering students and staff counseling.
We know that 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 4 children suffer from some type of a mental or emotional illness.
Mary Beth Fisk is with the Ecumenical Center. Its 40 offices across the region offer counseling. Fisk has no connection to the Hondo investigation, but she strongly encourages families to engage with their teens.
It's important to have a balanced adult who can be aware of what's happening and can help to consult and get them help as much as needed.
Fisk says sometimes there may not be a warning sign that a tragedy is brewing. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
In other news now, Texas lawmakers and Governor Greg Abbott passed more than 1,100 bills this year. Several of those laws have already been in effect for weeks, but this Friday, hundreds more are going to be official. 774 additional laws surrounding important subjects like school safety, voting rights, and crime are going to go on the books starting September 1st. And yes, 774 new laws is a lot to look out for, but hey, we got you. We broke down several notable laws. Just scan that QR code on your screen to read up on them. That's going to direct you directly to our website, ksat.com.
There's a showdown over how 8th graders in our state will learn about climate change. The State Board of Education will actually have the final say. Its 15 members meeting right now to pick a curriculum and textbooks. But this is a partisan divide. The Republicans on that group want students to learn about the benefits of burning fossil fuels. The Democratic board members support teaching kids the scientific consensus on climate change, which is that it's mainly caused by humans. Whatever the board decides will affect how science is taught in our schools. The new curriculum should go into effect starting next year.
Now, the Biden administration just announced which medications it wants to make cheaper for people on Medicare specifically. Now, President Biden is targeting medicines like Jardiance for diabetes and the blood thinner Eliquis, along with 8 other medications. You see them right there on your screen. The renegotiation plan is part of the Inflation Reduction Act, which the president signed into law last year. The problem is Republicans aren't on board with Biden's plan, and neither are some drug makers who are calling the process rushed. Now, the government, however, is expected to suggest prices for those 10 medications by next February.
New details tonight on a potential setback for the medical center's newest addition. University Health says crews are working to clean up a major water leak at its new women's and children's hospital. That building is yet to open to the public. A fire sprinkler pipe ruptured last week, causing damage in a number of rooms and hallways. The hospital system says it's too early to determine just how long those repairs will take. In a statement, university says in part, quote, "While this is extremely disappointing and it is vitally important for us to open this new hospital, our teams will ensure all of this work will be done right and fully inspected prior to opening," end quote. Plans for the hospital are for it to open this fall.
New video now appears to show U.S. Border Patrol agents helping people who are struggling to cross the Rio Grande. Border Patrol says that video that you see right there was posted to Facebook Reels, and it was taken yesterday in the Laredo sector. Now, this is one of 2 people that you see there that agents found in distress. They were actually on the river without a life jacket. The Border Patrol says that the river is actually higher and stronger than usual because of recent rain.
Time now for a look at your Nightbeat news flash. A migrant woman died after experiencing a medical emergency in U.S. Border Patrol custody. That woman was being held at the Harlingen Border Patrol Station, the same facility where an 8-year-old girl died back in May. Customs and Border Patrol says that woman given life-saving medical attention at that facility before she was taken to a hospital where she would ultimately pass. CBP investigating both of those deaths. Tonight, we know the names of the 2 SAPD officers shot during a manhunt last week. They are Officer Rhett Shoquist and Officer Raul Chavez. Officer Shoquist has been with SAPD for 6 years, Officer Chavez for 4. Both are now at home recovering. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Coming up, pediatricians across the country are telling parents to be careful because there's a virus out there that's very harmful to babies. But here's the thing, you can actually stop it before it keeps spreading.
In a new edition of Spreester Sessions, we take you behind the scenes with Americana music legend Robert Earl Keen ahead of a Labor Day performance in Helotes. A sneak peek of our conversation and that tour after the break.
Pediatricians across the country want parents to ask them about the pneumococcal vaccine, especially if you have a child under 2 years old. So listen to this. Pneumococcus is the bacteria that some people carry, sometimes with no symptoms. It spreads through coughing and sneezing, but it's very dangerous to kids under 2 because, as you know, they have weaker immune systems. Now, what could start as an ear infection can develop into meningitis, pneumonia, also bone and joint infections, and that's exactly why health experts say that prevention, in this case a vaccine, is key.
It is, part of the routine vaccine schedule that they get up to 4 doses prior to the age of 15 months.
The State Medical Association says that about 2,000 people in Texas get pneumococcal pneumonia every year. So if your baby has long-lasting infections, just make sure that you tell your doctor.
Robert Earl Keen is iconic. He has a new album out called Western Chill. Will perform on Labor Day at Floor's Country Store in Helotes. He's someone I hope to get an interview with one day. That day has come. Robert Earl Keen is the latest edition of Spreester Sessions, and you can see the sit-down interview right now on KSAT.com and our KSAT YouTube page. But he's also agreed to give us a tour of his ranch and a place he calls the Scriptorium.
You see, I have this little cabin. It's only built for one, perfectly situated on the western side of a hill. Yeah, so this is where I wrote probably 80% of my songs.
What do you call this place?
The Scriptorium, yeah. My wife named it that, where, like Scriptorium as in writing place.
What's this place mean to you?
This is my place. This is where I can really get in touch with myself and get in touch with writing a song. And I usually what I do is I don't bring my phone. There's no television here, and I just have a bunch of deer sausage and white bread, and I go out there and cook them out there.
Is there a song when you were playing shows that you had to play?
Well, yeah, The Road. If I didn't play The Road, I got a lot of flack, and I did that a few times. People really actually literally bang on the bus and scream and tell me I was like ruining their day and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, come on, man. I just didn't play it one time, Best on vacation in all of creation, Western chill, Western chill, Western chill.
It's an album that's got a vibe, it's got a songbook, it's got a graphic novel. You can watch the full interview with Robert Earl Keen and the full ranch tour right now on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and the KSAT YouTube page. You can also just scan the QR code on your screen right there. It'll take you right to the latest edition of Spreester Sessions.
Now, that looks like a really cool interview. I mean,
Such a nice guy, very humble for all that he's accomplished.
Down to earth.
But,
yes. Lovely to see that.
I was just glad I could get the questions out because I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting across from Robert Earl Keen.
I know, right? And he got some rain at his ranch yesterday.
By Bandera,
I only estimate from radar.
Speaking of,
yes.
How about tomorrow?
A little window of opportunity. Let's get right to it. A window of opportunity between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow when we could see a few showers. Don't get too excited. We're talking a 20% chance, and that's it. So nothing exciting. However, it's something that we weren't initially expecting. So it's nice to see this back in the forecast. Looks like we build up just enough instability and have just enough lift to get a few showers going for some lucky neighborhoods. Notice 2 o'clock tomorrow on our Futurecast. And as I often say, don't pay close attention to the exact location of the showers on the Futurecast here. Just the mere fact that it's developing some tomorrow in the afternoon and early evening. It could really be anywhere. I think slightly better odds in the hill country, but otherwise, I mean, we're just talking that 20% chance. And that's from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Once we lose our daytime heating, well, we lose these showers. And it's going to be a situation where it could be a downpour 5 miles away from you, but you're underneath sunshine. Just one of those situations. Now, I want to take a look at the big picture here because we've got the big upper level high, the big blue H. It's over Arizona. So that puts us in this northerly flow aloft and even at the ground now. We still have that light north wind. So actually temperatures tomorrow morning will be a little bit lower and cooler than what we've become accustomed to the past couple of months. I mean, we're talking low 70s to start the day. But this northerly flow gets little ripples embedded with it, which can help us generate some of those showers tomorrow afternoon. Of course, the big story, lower right-hand side of your screen, that is tropical storm, Hurricane Idalia, Category 2, just about a Category 3, probably going to be a Category 3 by the time the hurricane hunters pass through this later on tonight. Max sustained winds at 110, but this system is rapidly strengthening and will continue to do so before making landfall early tomorrow morning. You see the latest pass of the hurricane hunters flying through that hurricane. And now the Hurricane Center is actually going with a Category 4 right before landfall with winds of about 130 miles per hour in the eye wall nearest the center of circulation there, weakening very quickly as it heads northeast. Now, this is in the Big Bend region of Florida, and it's a part of Florida where we're going to see, of course, the worst storm surge. And this is a computer model of the potential storm surge, which is the height of the water above the ground. And especially at high tide, it can impact it even more. But it's the height of the water above ground, 12 to 15 feet of storm surge possible, just 58 miles west of Gainesville there. The storm surge could stretch inland several miles when it's that significant. All right, let's talk our temperatures. 100 degrees today, the record 107, average 94. Look across the state, it wasn't all that bad. Some triple digits, but many locations in the 90s, even Amarillo, 83 for the high temperature. Cotulla, 101. Del Rio, 103, along with Victoria. Kerrville had a high of 96. Tomorrow's going to be similar. I do think we'll be at 100 degrees again here in town. 102 Thursday and Friday, then even 100 this weekend. So yes, still hot in triple digits, but not as bad as what we've been experiencing just in recent history. And I want to give you the ERCOT supply and demand forecast. Right now, and this changes very frequently, but right now they actually have it for tomorrow evening around 6 to 9 p.m. for the demand to exceed the projected supply. So another good reminder to conserve as much as you can, especially late afternoon, early evening. 72 in the morning. 94 at noon, 100 degrees the high temperature, 20% chance of a stray shower. Carrizo Springs tomorrow, 100. Canyon Lake at 98. Lake Hills at 101. Elmendorf and Losoya, 102. Other than that 20% chance, looking sunny and dry all the way through Labor Day.
All right, thank you.
All right, he's the newest member of the Dallas Cowboys. How does he see himself fitting into that quarterback room, Mary?
It's so early on. He himself said he has no idea, but the goal is for him to figure that out very quickly. And of course, the potential for Dallas with Trey Lance joining its QB room has risen. We don't know exactly how much yet, but how does he feel about being traded to the Cowboys? We'll find out. And it wasn't the most surprising day, but for Dallas and Houston, they finalized their NFL 53-man rosters.
I really tried to not, expect anything one way or another, but I can say that when I heard Cowboys, I had a big smile on my face. I was very excited to be here.
Many are wondering what the acquisition of Trey Lance means for the future of the Cowboys quarterback room, but Right now, all we know is he's happy, 100% healthy, and the team is welcoming him with open arms. It's time for Big Board Sports.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
No matter which way you phrase it, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys have a mountain of potential with 2021 number 3 overall pick Trey Lance sitting at number 3 on the quarterback depth chart. Lance's development as a starting NFL QB was halted after the 23-year-old suffered a season-ending ankle injury in Week 3 last year. Sam Darnold beat Lance out for the 49ers' backup QB role, which led to Lance getting his second chance in Dallas. In college, Lance was a stud at North Dakota State, and around the same time he's uniting with his new team, he's also reuniting with former NDSU teammate Hunter Lipke, who is also celebrating making the Cowboys roster.
Getting to see Hunter, got to see him today, man, was super excited. Obviously for him, got to watch his last preseason game, man. He had a great game, so it's going to be awesome for me to, have a familiar face. A few guys I had, crossed paths with in the last few years, but him definitely, having spent that time and came into college with him would be awesome.
Lipke joins the running back room with Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, and Rico Dowdle. Beyond that, Dallas cut 2 former draft picks in Bohanna and Cox. Warren High School alum Dennis Houston was cut along with Simi Fehoko. Kelvin Joseph was traded to the Dolphins in exchange for Noah Igbo-Nagani. On the Houston side of things, the Texans were able to make a trade with the Steelers to enhance the offensive line with Kendrick Green in exchange for a 2025 6th-round pick. Green is a former 3rd-round pick. The Texans released a handful of their veteran players, including cornerback Desmond King and linebacker Christian Kirksey. Now the 53-man roster is set for the Texans under first-year head coach D'Amico Ryans. There is a lot of newness that surrounds this Houston group. When we come back, we're talking UTSA. This Saturday, the UTSA football team travels to Houston for the start of what will be a very special season. It can't be understated what the return of quarterback Frank Harris means to the Roadrunners' 2023 potential. After practice today, Harris acknowledged where he was physically and mentally last spring, saying it was the hardest time of his life and injuries took a giant toll to the point he says he couldn't walk or sleep.
I mean, honestly, I was done probably like March and April. I was ready to give it up, honestly. I told Coach, told a couple of the players that I'm medically retiring, I'm done. Trying to move on with my life. It was just too hard for me at that point. And just to see where I am now, just a testament to God. And he does everything for a reason, and I'm just blessed to be here.
Harris will hit the field for his final campaign with the Roadrunners beginning this Saturday at Houston. Let's see how the Rangers and Astros are doing. Mitch Garver gave the Texas Rangers a much-needed spark with a home run in the 7th inning as the Rangers beat the Mets 2-1 to take a 2-0 series lead over New York. In Boston, the Houston Astros get back-to-back homers from Alex Bregman and Yordan Alvarez in the first inning to go on to defeat the Red Sox 6-2.
The pennant chase is on.
Yep.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. And we'll be right back. Before we go, we want to give a shout out to a local school aide with Comal ISD. Her name is Mary Gomez, or Miss Mary, was surprised with the district's 590 award for customer service.
Yeah, the district honoring her for going above and beyond as an after-school aide for 20 years. Congratulations, Mary.
Oh, Mary.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Awesome.
Quick look at the wave heights around Hurricane Idalia, up to 27 feet offshore in the Gulf of Mexico.
We hope our neighbors are doing all right. All right. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.